ban, I wouldn't be too surprised either to see either a Hard Breach or a Glaz or Blackbeard ban coming out from Organized Chaos. We'll find out in just about a moment here, and that's actually going to be Ying. A pretty good ban considering how well Super can utilize Ying on this map. And these two attacker bans, very well utilized on both ends.
Now the question is, we saw Thatcher go. Are we going to see a Kaid get banned out? Because that can be very difficult to deal without a Thatcher. Yes, we will. So we're both on top of our game, it seems like. He's going to be the next one to go. And I think it's neat that Soniqs banned out Thatcher, basically to force OOC's hand on who they had to ban for the defenders. Because, of course, Soniqs starting on defense, starting with a Kaid without a Thatcher would be huge for them. And there goes Mira. So pretty much what we were exactly predicting before this started, other than the Ying, I suppose. But no, Soniqs banning the Thatcher I think is huge. Forces OC to ban the Kaid, and then they ban the Mira because that's just the way they like to play.
Yeah, Kaid is an absolutely strong operator given that his Electro Claws are... It's more of a glorified bandit, in my opinion. Because instead of having to be directly up against the wall and listening for a charge to go off, you can just hear it and then toss the Electro Claw, or Artilla as he calls it, and just instantly zap it after a few moments when it charges up, and you can take it on and off, work your way around it. And we'll be seeing Organized Chaos start off on attack, with Susquehanna Sonic starting off on defense, and they'll be taking us downstairs into the laundry and supply room.
So this bomb site would make a lot of sense if Kaid was still in it. Obviously he's taken out. It still does make quite a lot of sense. This is probably the most popular bomb site. I don't know what the stats are between this and Kids, but we were talking as before that those are the two bomb sites that teams are generally going to go to first. The lineup for the defenders, pretty standard. I'm not seeing anything crazy. You're bringing the Maestro for that intel. You're bringing the smoke because you're always going to bring the smoke. The mute is a strategy that has somewhat fallen off in the past few months, maybe like 6 months or so, wouldn't you say? Because, I don't know, we've seen a lot of teams be able to counter his play pretty well when he puts his mute jammer down to the basement to block the hatch. Although, I guess with a Thatcher, that's going to be huge still. Never mind, I forgot about that.
Mute's a pretty big operator to take when Thatcher's banned. It'll force teams to either bring in a Twitch or a Maverick to try to see if they can deflect the mute jammer that's on top of the table. But the risk of running Maverick is that once you start to make those holes, it can also be used from the defender's point of view as well. And a bit of a extended roam coming out from Super as he's going to be sitting inside a tower. So we'll see how this plays out. I think Super's going to go for a bit of a late game flank. Well, unless he gets thrown down, which he actually does. So his position's been compromised. We'll see how this plays out for Organized Chaos.
He's also got Neptunes up in T3 above him we saw for just a second, so there's a lot of commitment to tower. This is very unusual for the Soniqs. Again, there's a lot of pressure being put back onto him. Of course, playing the Jaeger, you've got those ADSs to keep yourself alive a little bit longer, but Super, the first one to fall in the match. Looks like Merc found him, who was hiding down in that tower. And I mean, this is Merc. We've been talking about him in the pre-show. He can be quite powerful on that Ash. Able to open things up, get that first kill. Neptune's still now the lone man hiding in tower from these last players in faults. Ooh. He makes it a 5-on-3. This is going pretty good for OC.
Shutting down 2 roamers in tower within just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm actually really scared right now for Soniqs. A very great execution coming out from Organized Chaos, and very good use of roam clearing coming out from both Merc and Fultz on that tower.
It's a very aggressive roam strategy. It's very out of the ordinary and clearly just not something that paid off. Really good strats by OC to be able to come in, see that, like, figure that out really quickly, and then, as you mentioned, within a minute, clear those roamers out of the way. So that leaves only 3 anchors to sit back on the bomb site and try to protect from the push. Looks like they're all up in meeting hall and tower right now, back behind that stage, doing what they can. Just based on where they are right now, it's likely going to be some sort of a construction push.
Yeah, they're not even gonna. I don't even think they're taking down the main lobby hatch. This looks to be a backdrop and a back take. So, although they only have 3 members on Sonic's side, you still have Ghost on the board, and Ghost is absolutely unpredictable in the way he plays, and that's what makes him such a volatile operator. And Merc already taken a ton of damage, but also Avian has taken damage to about 30 HP, so we'll see how this plays out. But the health and man advantage is definitely in favor for Organized Chaos.
So despite the really early start we saw from OC, they have taken their time after getting those first couple of frags. Looks like the execute going to start coming in now. We see Merc drop and fire off that last breaching round to get rid of a little bit of utility, but he gets taken down. Goddess back in the laundry room behind that deployable shield, pops her head up, and is able to get that. Some gas canisters have been deployed, so they got to watch out for that. Another one in hand from Ghost. He's got 2 in the pocket. Worried about these drones. Still 30 seconds, and False is going to make it a 4-on-2. Still pushing forward. Ghost makes down False. That is going to be a trade. 3-on-2 coming around, and there goes a C4 from Avian. Flies through the air, does not connect. Another flying through the air. Object to that is the gas canister, but again, doesn't find anything. Ghost knows exactly where these players are, or does he? No, he does not. Lying on the floor, and Art catches him off guard. It's going to be all down to Avian in a 1-on-3, but he's got the time advantage. He just needs to deny this plant. Will he get it? Art is watching. Organized Chaos start us off with 1-0.
An absolutely great use of what's the word? Angle coming out from Art. He was able to utilize the shotgun holes that came out from Soniqs and use the holes directly against them. So a great heads up play coming out from Art, not getting too over aggressive, but finding the sweet spot to cut off the angles that would be coming out from the defenders, and an absolutely great showing coming out from Organized Chaos on the first round.
So round number 2, clearly the basement defense didn't work out, but the Soniqs are going to try it again. I think I like that they're coming back here as long as they don't do the exact same strategy. They've brought all the same operators, which is slightly worrying. Okay, Super's going to 6-pick over the Clash, and they're definitely not playing Clash in Tower. So this is going to be probably more of a standard basement hold. I know I say that after they choose Clash, which is a bit of an strange operator to choose, but all in all, what are you thinking about this? Probably not going to go back in Tower. Where is Super going to be playing on that Clash, and how's the strategy going to revolve around him?
Clash is pretty interesting on this bomb site. My opinion is that they'll probably try to use more reinforcements back on site compared to a more of a extended realm over in Tower. I really think that Soniqs could have had a better chance had they not had both Super and Neptunes fall within 50 seconds.
Yeah, certainly they would have. I think it's fine that they're coming back here, you know. You recognize that you tried something strange, it didn't work out, that's fine, we just won't try it again. You know, you don't have to be too worried. It's the first round of the night. I think they can afford to do stuff like that. Right now, Super's in the attic, as we'll get into the action phase. What is he even doing down there? Is he, I guess he's just on cameras right now?
I think he was checking cameras on the default cam, so reinforcing the top of attic on Tower side, and with the Clash playing attic, this is a bit interesting. I can't really speak too much on what Soniqs are planning here, but it looks to be more so of a meeting hold compared to a tower hold this time around. And with Super on the Clash is a pretty decent operator at keeping attackers at bay for the time being, but unless you have you know, for example, Neptunes, if he's not behind you, then the Clash is a bit useless in my opinion.
They do have a really good counter Clash lineup. Of course, they didn't know because it was 6-picked onto, but you've brought the Capitao, you've brought the Zofia. There's a lot of operators that do either hard counter or soft counter the Clash, so I would be a little bit worried for Super. Of course, he did see that lineup when he chose to 6-pick to the Clash, so of course, it's his own risk. He knows what he's getting himself into, and hopefully he'll be playing to try to mitigate those advantages that the attackers might have over him. But he's just sort of wandering around in through lobby and through the meeting hall, not quite sure what he wants to get onto yet. Minute into the round and significantly fewer kills than in the first round. We can see Neptune still playing up here in the attic, but he will get droned out. And so the attackers, a little bit slower as I mentioned, but ooh, is that going to be a down and a kill? Yes, it will. Wow, Gurmy going down inside the tower. That's the Capitao too. That's huge.
That's really tough for Gurmy playing on 60 ping because he's a West Coast player. And falling to Neptunes that early on, that's your only smokes for the entire attacking lineup. So a really huge impact frag coming out from Neptunes taking down Gurmy.
That's big. Stats for a minute, we can see generally better on Soniqs, or on OC, but still. Early into this game, we see the attackers one down, but not out just yet. We see them taking control of Meeting Hall. We saw Super drop down, so all the roamers have been recalled. They got 1 kill. I think they're happy with that. Not exactly sure what the full strategy was in reinforcing the attic and stuff like that. Clearly they did play somebody up there, but I guess didn't really come to to be super important.
So Neptunes and both Super have rotated down. And coming into the last 40 seconds here, the push is going to have to start now, or they're going to have to force their way in through to the 5 crosshairs coming out from Soniqs. And this round, the way it's been looking out, with only 30 seconds left to play, it looks to go in the favor of Soniqs at this point.
Certainly, they've got so much plant on aisle 2. You've got the Maestro cams, you've got the gas canisters. The longer that we wait, the more heavily favored this is going to be for Soniqs. So OC, they know this, and they're going to start getting in. Looks like it's going to be Oasis who just runs and starts planning, but those gas canisters will force him off. He loses almost half of his HP, but Art's out there, and he's getting kills, so that's going to be something at least in favor of his team. That's the Jagger goes down, not a ton of utility. The shotgun from Avian will come out and take down Merc. Again, a big fragger, and oh, not a lot he can do in that situation. The clash, bullying Art, and Goddess will get the kill. Soniqs re-emerge onto the diffuser, and they will stop him, taking round number 2. It's back to a tie game.
Great round coming out from Soniqs. I honestly think the whole round fell around that one kill that Neptune's got upstairs inside a meeting hall. Because Gurmy, once again, he's the only smoke operator for this bomb site. That Capital off the board, no smokes means it's going to be really tough for the attackers to try to formulate a push and go for plant. Because then that just gives all the defenders a free line of sight at the doorways, and it doesn't obscure their vision. So a great adaptation coming out from Soniqs to rotate on down once they got the kill onto Gurmy, and a bit of an unfortunate play coming out from Organized Chaos.
So a little bit of role swap coming out. Super's moving over to the Jagger, and Elysian's being played. So like, it's nice to show that they are flexible. Still Goddess on the Maestro and Ghost on the Smoke. Avian still playing the Valkyrie as well. Probably just the fact that they wanted to bring in Elysian. Neptune's the guy who they want playing that, so Super can flex over to the Jagger. Not doing so hot just yet. The only player on his team dropping the donut, 0 kills. But again, it's early. And Super...
Yeah, it's only been 2 rounds.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll show up a little bit later into this match. Well, maybe not. He's had a couple of cold games.
Yeah, Super's been off to a bit of a cold start, but then once the match progresses, he starts to warm up and starts to frag out. Usually. But with the Legion coming out from Neptune's, and it looks to be yet another duo roam coming out from Neptune's and Super inside of Tower. I wonder if we're going to be seeing yet another T3 and T2 hold coming out from Soniqs.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Again, they're putting ADSs up here, so certainly Super's going to be committed. He's putting all of his utilities in deployable shield, so this is very, very much him committed to this location. And again, it's interesting from the attacker's point of view, because do you take the time to take him out and not worry about him flanking you later, which is what they did the first round, and they were able to do it very efficiently, so it worked quite well. Or do you just forget about him and hope that he doesn't come back later, watch your flank? You do save a bit of time when you do that, but of course that threat is always real and always a danger. What do you think in this situation, attacking on kids' dorms? What's your preference?
So with Super sitting inside a T3, I mean, you can play it either one of 2 ways. You can either play it with trying to hunt him down, but Super's going to go big, almost getting a frag onto Art. Art's barely going to escape with his life, but Ghost gets the opening frag onto Oasis. That's the hard breach dead. I'm not exactly sure if he was even able to get the closet wall open. So with the only hard breacher off the board for Organized Chaos, this looks to be another round going in favor of Soniqs, because Soniqs have looked absolutely diligent and disciplined in every single round that they've played so far throughout the season.
Yeah, losing your hard breach so early on is really rough. We're going to see how Smoke caught that, but man, Avian getting another kill onto Merc. That's your top fragger down. Finally, something good for OC. False finds Avian down in the kitchen, but again, that's just a roamer. I mean, that's the Valkyrie, right? That's not really an operator that you're super stoked to be killing. Sure, it's a gun off the board, it's a man down, but all in all, it's not the most utility. I don't think it's going to be too rough with the Soniqs having lost that operator. They still got their Smoke alive. They still got their Legion alive. They still got their Maestro alive. There's a ton of utility still to be played from this team. You can see Gurmy, now that he's actually alive, can fire off a couple of those fire bolts. However, none really getting that much damage down. Ghost still hurt from before. Starting to peek his way up, though, Gurmy.
I thought that if Gurmy would have wallbanged there, he would have landed a very nutty wallbang onto Ghost. It looked scary, but of course we can only see the outlands. The players can't. So moving on to the last 45 seconds. Although Oasis has died, they're gonna have to. Organized Chaos will have to improvise and adapt. But since Gurmy's still on the board, I don't even think he's used his smoke grenades. But with Art moving on up, tossing a nade on into kitchen. Fultz takes one down. It'll be Super. Art takes down another. It'll be Ghost. Things are now looking in favor for Organized Chaos. 26 seconds left to play. Goddess holding a hard angle. She sees the bolt coming out from Capital, but she turns away at the wrong moment. 19 seconds left to play. Neptunes gets a frag onto Fultz to even 2v2. Art at about 1 HP. Neptune's going to take down Gurmy, and Goddess takes down Art. Soniqs win the second round in a row, and that'll be round number 3 going in favor of the Susquehanna Soniqs.
That was a lot closer than it should have been based off of those opening picks. The Soniqs almost threw it away. Well, I don't want to put it too hard on them though. Organized Chaos really came in. That art with that grenade kill was really huge. A beautiful toss into the small dorms, was able to get a kill that way. And then Goddess like stepping off her post at the worst possible time is so horrible. I'm glad that she was able to come back and get that final kill because I mean that's not even her fault, right? That would just you'd feel so bad after letting something like that happen around so firmly in the bag. Almost slipping away. Now they're going to move over to kitchen dining, and interesting, they'll go here over tower. This is probably going to be a little bit less heavily in favor of them.
Yeah, bringing out a clash out of an echo. It really depends, you know, with between kitchen and tower, how teams want to play it out. It also depends on how much they've practiced those bomb sites. So I'm assuming that within scrims and how the Soniqs have been playing, I think they feel a lot more comfortable in kitchen compared to their tower gameplay. And with a clash coming in from kitchen, 6 picking away from the echo, I expect to see Super playing heavily inside of dining room to prevent the push coming in from the small tower and outside of the green barrel.
It's interesting, Super really seemed to like this clash operator pick. It's, as we mentioned before, not a very commonly seen operator. I do like it quite a bit more on this bomb site than when he played it in the basement, although of course it did work out pretty well for him in the basement. So with that roaming clash, seems like he's got his style down pretty well with it. I like the way he's been playing so far, and it is going to be a pretty big help if they were able to open up that kitchen hard wall, which I'm assuming they want to through Junk Tower. Then they're going to have a great opportunity to get in there, but there's going to be a lot of information being fed by Super because he can just stand in front of them all, and what are you going to do about it? They do have a couple of frag grenades. They've got a lot of frag grenades, actually, being brought out on the side of Organized Chaos, so that's one way they might try to deal with this clash.
Yeah, both Gurmy and R will be taking on Sledge and Buck, 2 nade operators coming out. Oasis switching away from the Hibana over to the Thermite now. I think that's a pretty good call considering it's going to be inside of small tower that he needs to utilize his hard breaches on. The only other 2 fragging rolls are going to be coming out from Fultz and Merc on the IQ and the Ash. Not a whole lot of electronic gadget utility to come out for Fultz to look through, but with Oasis missing that flash through the drone hole, he'll have to utilize the last 2 remaining flashes in his pocket, take down the ADS, and with the first minute already gone, Organized Chaos needs to be a bit wary of a tower presence, but with Fultz sitting in tower, this is looking pretty good right now for Organized Chaos in terms of positioning.
Definitely looking a lot more organized than chaotic in this rounds. Taking things nice and slow. Doing exactly what they need to be doing. Checking off all of those objectives on your checklist. First thing, of course, being able to get open that wall. Clear up the batteries and whatnot might be inside to try to stop you from doing that. You've got your guys watching the flank. You do need to take control of showers, or at least watch it so that you don't get pounced on from behind, or yeah, I guess get shut down that way. There's still, of course, Neptune's playing in there. Minute 20 though, and they found the clash.
Yeah, a good way to utilize this bomb set as an attacker, in my opinion. Have somebody watch the cross rotating away from showers over by the window, and you can also have somebody watching it from the doorway. But the position that Avian's on right now, it's not too detrimental, but Oasis has already made his move onto site, so Super giving the call to Avian. He could come around. Gurmy's going to get the opening frag onto Neptune's, but right away, Susquehanna Soniqs find 2, but things are now looking bad. It's just Super and Ghost. Ghost really the only one in a position to go for frags with the last 45 seconds. It's looking a bit bad right now for Soniqs.
Ghost needs to get back here as fast as possible. You can see him running to the bomb site. Weary, but unfortunately getting shot a little bit from the left-hand side, but is able to run right past it and manage to get the kill. Can he deny the plant? Yes, he will. Super's there as well to help him out, and it's only Gurmy left alive in a 1-on-2, but Diffuser is down. It's going to help him quite a bit. They need to get this disabled. Coming around from the backside, Gurmy takes the kill onto Ghost. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie with the defenders, and he's just in a 1-on-1 versus a clash. He should be able to win this. He's just hiding outside. Super on the hunt, shield in hand. This is a dangerous spot to be in for the defenders, because not only they need to get this kill, they also need to be able to disable the bomb. He's dealing a little bit of damage, of course, with that shock, but pulls out the gun. It's the crouch from Gurmy. He wins it, and Organized Chaos take round number 4 back to a tie game.
Gurmy is the hero for that round for Organized Chaos. Being able to get the plant down and then moving on through, taking down Ghost after losing 2 of your teammates. Granted, Art was on 1 HP, but still, Fultz probably should have been able to land the shots, but I think Ghost just managed to get the shots on just a little bit more quicker than Fultz could. Gurmy being able to take down Ghost first absolutely huge pick coming out on that post-plant situation. I don't think he could have played that any more perfectly. Baiting Super to come out and just the unfortunate crosshair placement coming on from Super allowed Gurmy to utilize, like you mentioned, he crouched, utilize that SMG-11 to the full advantage that he could, and Organized Chaos ties things up at 2-2. And we'll be seeing a Maverick coming on out in place of an IQ, and an Elysian coming in favor of a Castle.
Yeah, I think the Maverick makes a lot of sense. They're going to the basement. They know they have to deal with those mute jammers somehow. We were talking earlier about different ways to try to deal with that. You were talking about Twitch, or you were talking about Maverick. This time they're choosing to bring the Maverick. They didn't bring anything on that first defense, and it didn't seem to matter because they got those opening picks. But now they at least have the ability to push in through lobby, to come in through the front door and open up that hatch. And now they're not really confined just for pushing in through one angle, which they sort of were when they weren't bringing the Maverick. Maybe they could have done it if they can like peek down the stairs and take care of the mute jammer that way, but overall, I mean, that's going to be very, very difficult. You're making your life easier when you're playing with the Maverick on this bomb site with this set of bans, so I like the Maverick pick quite a bit here.
Yeah, the Maverick pick, like I mentioned before, it's a bit of a risk factor to utilize to take down the mute jammer, because I know that when we saw, I think it was in the Invitational playoffs that I casted with Goddess, she dropped 16 against Rise Nation, if I'm not mistaken, on this exact map, actually. And unfortunately, I was having a bit of production issues myself. I didn't switch over the scene from the waiting screen to the actual game screen, so I completely missed all of her shots in the first round. Yeah, and she was super mad at me, but she managed to get a 4K, and Rise used the Maverick on the hatch, and she was able to find, I think, 1 or 2 picks from the hatch, from the holes that the blowtorch came out from. So she was really mad at me. And I was able to catch all 4, but unfortunately, I didn't. And now here we have great production value, so we'll be making sure to try to catch as many frags as possible.
Hey, with Handsome running the game, I'm sure that we've caught pretty much all the action for you guys, and if not, don't be too hard on them. Production's a really tough job, so aw, we love you. Coming in around number 5, a minute has passed and not a lot has gone on. It's 2-2 on the scoreboard. There's still Neptune's doing a little bit of setup, and he'll make some punch holes. Is that being watched? Yes, it is. However, not exactly the angle where he's going to get shot just yet. Art is on the other side of things, ready to shoot his head off the moment he peeks, but it looks like Art's going to be moving around. Still not quite sure what he wants to do up there. Faults on the Maverick, as we were talking about. He can't open this hatch up nice and easy. Did they just fire off the Habana pellets as well as soon as it opened up? Is that what happened?
That is not a big heads-up play coming out from Oasis. I'm not exactly too sure what happened there. I think he wasn't sure if the hatch was going to get opened from the blowtorch. But either way, the hatch has finally been opened, and Organized Chaos can start to make their descent onto the site. Grammy's still alive. That's pretty good. I'm not exactly too sure where he's playing at right now, but his smokes will be absolutely crucial to this push.
Yeah, the fact that he's not the first one down means it's probably going to go a little bit better for them. Oasis is getting in the spot where he can start to plant. He'll destroy the barbed wire, and
he doesn't have the diffuser.
Oh, you're right. He doesn't. I don't think he knew that. Because he was definitely trying to plant there. He's going to get the diffuser, come on back, and now the gas canisters will start to come out. He'll start the plant, but of course have to get off of it. And we play this game where we see how long can they bait out this utility before they can finally get the plant down. So far, the fire arrows are coming down, putting on a little bit of pressure to the Soniqs. They'll go for another plant attempt from Oasis, but another gas canister comes out. Was it a little bit too late, though? Oasis is trying to stick it. He's at very little HP. He's not going to get it. Oh, that's terrible timing. He dies at the same time. Ghost gets a headshot on the Gurmy, making it a heavy favor, or back to an even player advantage. Just falls, gets the Claymore kill. Neptunes walks into that. They're having another attempt at planting this diffuser. Art going for it now. They have no more utility. Try to throw him at him from the hatch. Mersh will get 2 kills, and Goddess gets 1 in return, but Art finds the final one. Organized Chaos, round number 5 is theirs, and what a hectic way to end it.
I don't know if you noticed it, but the first time that Oasis was planting, it was on the platform of the laundry stairs. I think he was a bit cautious of the toxic babes coming out from Ghost, but to the contrary of that, he actually had maybe 2 more seconds left to plant. But I don't know if he was scared of the Evil Eye getting shot from him or a C4 coming out or what exactly. But he had way more than enough time to stick that plant, but for some reason he just got off of it and made it a bit more chaotic for Organized Chaos.
A bit more chaotic. That organization needed to come back if they're going to want to tie it up. Going into the half swap. Or actually, I guess no, they're up. Never mind.
Yeah,
What
they're
am I
up.
thinking? Yeah,
I
I'll
think you
have
were
the
thinking
scores
they were on
reversed in my
orange for
head.
a moment.
Yeah, no. I mean, we say this is a very even map. Usually it doesn't favor the attackers or defenders too heavily. I think OC should be very happy with getting at least 3 rounds. Now they're going to have to attack onto the kids' dorms as the Sonics have chosen to switch things up here. But all in all, no, good that they're bringing it because there was a little bit of worry earlier on that maybe you could make some claims that OC are only at the top of the scoreboard because they've had an easier schedule. You could say these things and that and those things. I'm glad that they've at the very least given us a good show and gotten 3 rounds on the board. Still plenty to play for. It's anybody's game. But should this be a successful defense from the Sonics, which they haven't lost this bomb site yet, the one time they played it, then we would be going 3-3 into half, which is my favorite scoreline to go into halftime with.
Yeah, also one thing I really didn't agree with Sonics that last round when they were trying to stop the plant, both Ghost and Avian moved on through the rotation hole over by the laundry closet and just completely gave Merc the freeze 2k that he's going to have all match. That was a bit questionable for the push that they made, but it was a nice attempt nonetheless.
Walking right into the sight line, and again, we're going to see people playing in tower. This seems to be the home base for the Sonics. Other than Pennsylvania, I guess. They've got Super taking already half of his health. I think he's the guy playing in tower. Wow, he's going to go down to the breaching round, but it's traded immediately. Neptunes is playing in there as well, and able to take down the Ashe. So an Ashe for a Jaeger. That's a lot of fragment tower off the board from both sides, and Neptune's really wishing he'd won that gunfight. Unfortunately, he takes a bunch of damage, does not dish out any in return. He has to run back to the bomb site.
I'm pretty sure Art's probably a bit mad that he didn't get that frag. But nonetheless, he does damage Neptunes a ton, and with the Legion at about 10 HP, with the new reset that is in favor, or not in favor, that's been implemented, the down but not out health change has been reset from 50 to 20 HP. So no matter what, if he gets reset, he'll still be one shot from any of the attacker's guns. We'll see how this plays out for the Susquehanna Sonics.
Minute 45 on that clock, 4 on 4. Not a huge rush for the attackers, but as you can see, they're already poking at this bomb site. Attack crossbow in hand. Gurmy's going to try to find somebody to burn out. No, he'll switch back over to the Para 308 and continue looking into this bomb site. Gets droned out. Oh, Ghost. That is unfortunate. Walks right into the sightline of Gurby and an easy kill for the Capitao on the window. Makes it another player advantage in favor of the attacking team. OC still have quite a bit of time to get onto this bomb site as well. Looking good.
Minute 10 left to play. Gurmy utilizing both smoke bolts. Gonna have to force Goddess to push on through the window. Frag Grenade's gonna come out and limit her movement. Not exactly too sure where Oasis is at with the diffuser. He's actually gonna be downstairs. Avian's gonna take down Art. Cooking a nade. Goddess takes down Oasis. Gurmy's gonna get that immediate trade. It's now a 2v2, but Neptune's is at 1 HP still. Moving on into Kids' windows is gonna be Gurmy finding himself into Kids. Bolt is gonna down Avian. It's now all to Neptune's on 1 HP. Pings are coming out. Gurmy's ready for the peak. And there's Organized Chaos winning 4-2 split this first half.
That's really huge, especially in Oregon where we often see splits something like 3-3. Avian on the roam down on that first floor was, I think, the big thing in that round. It got him a good couple of kills to keep their team in it, keep that scoreline close, but eventually once he went down, it was a 1-on-2 for his teammate, and it just didn't happen from there. So we'll move on to the half swap. Laundry Supply is going to be the first bomb site being chosen by OC. And I was going to mention sometimes they like to go to tower first to mix things up. And we could see them go second. They really just like to throw it into the most random time. Try to throw off the attackers, do what they can. But for now, starting off standard, you're still bringing your Bandit. You're going to bring basically almost the exact same lineup we saw being brought by Sonics for this bomb site. Notably, Art playing the Bandit rather than their rotation of operators we saw from Sonics.
Yeah, Nomad for the first time going to come out in this matchup from Super, and not too much of a whole lot of change coming out from the offensive lineup besides Ghost being on Zofia compared to Ashe, which was Merc. As far as the defense goes, Fault's on Maestro. Not too much of a big change between either of these teams, so it's pretty common to see both of these teams take around the similar set of operators. And I'm also curious to see how the Sonics are going to be able to retaliate now that they're on attack and they have a lot more firepower to work with.
For sure. Looks like OC are favoring this T3 play. You've got Merc up here running around. He's got the deployable shield ready to put it down. He's got his ADSs. He's going to be all set up to turtle in here for as long as possible. We were talking about Super being at 0. Now a few more rounds have passed, and it's actually Oasis who's still sitting down there. So we can't tarp on on Super too bad, but Oasis down there with 0 kills. I mean, he was playing more of a support role. I can't remember if he was playing exactly the hard breach roles, but regardless of who he was on, maybe not super great. Maybe it doesn't matter though, because they're up 4-2. The only score that matters, Chris, is the one at the very top of your screen, and there's a lot of pressure being placed on the tower.
Very true. Unfortunately for Oasis, Super's got his frags. He's got 2 of them. Oasis has yet to find either a frag or assist to his name. And already Ghost takes down Gurmy, and Merc's been downed upstairs. So just like round 1, round number 7 is going to be shut down instantly by Ghost, taking down both Gurmy and Merc in the tower. And in the first minute, Organized Chaos in a really bad shape. Ghost almost finding a third onto Art, sitting on the right side of Split. Art is in a really bad spot. Oasis pushes on up through the tower, taking advantage of the distraction, and Ghost will finally be laid to rest. Organized Chaos are going to stop the bleeding momentarily, so Art will be moving on through into Meeting Hall.
Oasis heard us talking smack, and he's like, "You want me to get kills? Fine, I'll come up here. I'll get some kills." Shotgun in hand, he was able to shut down Ghost, who was on a 2K so far for the round. Really important one to stop, and I was a little bit worried when Art started to peek into Meeting Hall, because that is how you get your head blown off. You're challenging Ghost in situations like those. He hits those, Chris, so I'm glad he survived that time, or a bit closer to an even player count. But no, for the team that's currently down, things are still going pretty well. You, of course, lost Ghost, but you still got a fair amount of ground. It looks like you do have control of Meeting Hall, and those 2 big important kills coming out as well from the man before he went down. So lots still to celebrate if you're the Soniqs, but you still have to make this execute happen, and at that point in time, anything can go wrong. Avian still set 4 bolts in that crossbow that he can use to Smoke's 2 fires. And right now he's just peeking down the tower stairs. Isn't really finding anybody yet.
Yeah, 50 seconds left to play out. 3v4. It's a bit of an interesting vault. I didn't know you could vault into that box. I'm not too sure if that vault is well known, but either way, this back push starting to slow down a bit with the last 35 seconds, and I think that's going to be Super still above inside a lobby.
He's roaching around. 30 seconds. They don't have this hatch open. If this is going to be a lobby push down to the laundry, this might need to come out a little bit faster. They're now getting on the cameras. They're getting ready to come in. 20 seconds, a big C4 coming out from Art will take down Goddess. Another one from Faults finds Super, who's coming down the stairs, and there goes Oasis. 3 kills, 4 kills in a row. Oasis really popping off with a 3K. All right, we'll never trash talk the man again. That was great stuff by him.
For the time being, he was a bit off to a slow start on offense, but give him an SMG-11 and a pump shotty, he'll go to town on you.
Certainly he does. So Organized Chaos coming out 5-2 versus the Susquehanna Soniqs. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. I did not expect this. I was a little bit low on OC, but they have been looking so good this game, and in the past few months in general, they've been showing up to every single tournament, every game that they can play. These guys bring it, and it's crazy to see them up here contending with what a lot of people were thinking was going to be the team to beat this season. And certainly I think they have been. I mean, the first couple of weeks, they've been looking very good, but of course, a tie versus Our Bad, should they lose this heavily to OC, they would, I'd be getting nervous if I was on the Soniqs.
Yeah, not only that, also to point out, like we mentioned when we were looking at the rankings, how Organized Chaos had a 2-round advantage compared to the Soniqs leading into this matchup. Right now, they have a 5 total aggregate round advantage compared to the Soniqs. So, Organized Chaos, if they manage to win this 7-5, that's going to be really scary for the Soniqs. And Organized Chaos can breathe heavily, because even if they were to take a 7-0 loss in their next matchup, they would still be #1, which is really scary if they were to win the next 2 rounds on this map.
That's so scary. These guys, they're actually insane the way that they play this game, and it's been a treat seeing them come up through the qualifiers. I don't think they were that good at the start of qualifiers, if I'm being totally honest. I think that how much they've improved has been super impressive. They were probably, I mean, honestly, they might be the most improved team in the past 3 months in all of Siege. That's a bit of a bold claim, but they've just gotten so much better so fast, and they continue their trend. Merc, we say this guy's name every single game that he's in, because he hits these shots, okay? Takes down Ghost, the man who started things off good for the Soniqs in the last round. Of course, they couldn't follow through that time. This time, they don't even have the early 2K lead. How are they going to follow through a man down? I don't know, Chris.
Not only that, but it's also one of the most aggressive players on all of Soniqs, and probably the most aggressive player that you can find in all of Challenger League once he has the information that he needs to work with. And for Merc to shut him down, aggression versus aggression, and Merc's aggression this time manages to pay off for him and puts Organized Chaos in a good standing for the time being in the first minute of the round.
2 minutes still to go. We've got some interesting defenders being pulled out, notably the Pulse. I believe the first time we've seen him this game. We'll see if it works out. They're still trying to keep Merc alive up here in the Watchtower. That is the bomb site. As we mentioned before, they do like to pull this out, so it's not a huge surprise that they come here on round number 8 when they don't need to come here, but it might be throwing off the Soniqs just a little bit. Playing Faults at the bottom of these stairs, it's a really interesting way to play them. You can see when people come in the door that Goddess is standing outside of right now through construction. Art finds another kill. Good God. Of course, him and Merc now each going to have a kill apiece, and he's actually running around through the dining hall. So it's two roamers, a completely opposite side of the map, both getting kills. Finally, Neptunes finds one on the board, and they'll equalize too. Goddess gonna get a kill, just peeks into the bomb site and manages to find one. Minute 15, and this is starting to come back for the Soniqs.
The Soniqs have control of all of T1, but Merc's going to go big with the second onto Goddess. That's Diffuser down and a minute left to play. Avian's going to take down Merc, running out from B1 Highway. That was a really questionable call to come out from Merc, but either way, Shotgun's going to come out from Oasis, and I'll find another onto Neptunes. Finally, it's all up to Avian. 50 seconds left to play. You have both Art and Oasis on 100 HP. Avian's going to relocate on top of T3, but with that repel sound, it'll give away his location, and Oasis and Art know exactly how to play this out.
Yeah, this is a really tough 1v2 to try to take if you're Avian. Just firing at the bottom of the stairs, and Avian doesn't even have Diffuser, right? They've got Diffuser on the defender's side, and Art is just watching it, so he does not need to move a muscle. I doubt that they have the information on the Soniqs. He'll peek forward in Attic, and he'll find Oasis. Big brain play coming out to be able to spot that player. Expect him to be in Attic, but again, he does not have a lot of time, and Art's rotating around. Organized Chaos, that's their 6th round. They cannot lose this match.
No, I think that's actually 5 rounds in a row now for Organized Chaos, given the fact that they were 1-1 even. They won the first round, and then Soniqs came back 1-2, and then it's just been all Organized Chaos the past 5 rounds. I'm absolutely blown away at how just outstanding Organized Chaos has been playing. They're absolutely disciplined, and part of that, I think, is huge in favor of Brycer and Ghosty coming out for the coaching staff coming in for Organized Chaos. So big props to them for being able to turn quote-unquote rank stars into really disciplined comp players, and it's really paying off.
100%. The way this team has grown is it's amazing. Coming into kids' dorms, that's going to be their 3rd bomb site. Of course, they can't play basement or tower. That's it's not something you see all too often. 6-2. That is a dominant scoreline. If they take this match 7-2, like if Soniqs don't start to pull it back soon, this could get really, really hairy. However, we've seen the Soniqs in this position before. You think back to the very first match of the season, Vicious Gaming versus the Susquehanna Soniqs, and what happens? Well, they go down 5-2, and the Soniqs come back to win it 7-5. So, obviously, the 7-5 scoreline no longer possible for the Soniqs, but they could at least come back, get 4 rounds in a row, and tie. I'm not going to say it's the easiest thing in the world because, again, OC have been playing out of their minds tonight. They've really shown up, and they're bringing it really hard against the Soniqs. But we are on Oregon, sorry. We are on Oregon. Anything is possible. Any of these rounds, that's winnable by the Soniqs. So it's going to be tough. And it's going to be a huge upset if Soniqs lose it, but I wouldn't count them out yet.
Yeah. In terms of the scoreboard now, we see both Art and Fultz boasting 18 for the duo fragging coming out for each other. 9 frags to each of their names. Meanwhile, Merc has 6, but he's gone ahead and promoted himself to Doc either way. And right now, I'm not exactly sure what's happening with Soniqs, but I really did not expect them to be in a 6-2 favor going into Organized Chaos in this matchup.
Nobody did. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is nuts. The fact that the Soniqs are dropping like this is that's surprising, to say the very least. But we still have a few more rounds, at least one, to watch from these two teams. So we'll see. Soniqs, they got to keep a cool head in this situation. No, you can't win the game anymore, but you can still get this tie, and getting this tie is going to be really important to stay at the top of the scoreboard. Organized Chaos, they're playing on their least favorite bomb site out of the 3 primary ones. We're going to ignore Kitchen. We're playing on their least favorite bomb site. They aren't going to be super comfortable defending this. This is your best chance you've had yet. Get yourself back in the game. Mindset needs to be there. You can't start slipping now. So far, a minute in, 0 kills. You got to take that as an attacker.
Yeah, first minute's already been popped off, and not a whole lot of action has been happening, but already Ghost is right near the bomb site inside of Armory Hall. Gurmy going to be located now inside of the dining hall. I don't think anyone from Soniqs is situated around Gurmy, but Ghost is going to be waiting inside of Master, waiting for Goddess to give the call to make the A-OK to push on through. First Toxic Babe is going to come out from Oasis, and that'll force Ghost to rethink his positioning for the time being.
It's really far roaming. You've got a lot of OC players. You can see them down roaming on the bottom floor, but it won't pay off because Art's going to drop to Neptunes. Puts us into a 5-on-4 favoring the Soniqs. They now need to find the other man who's hiding around its faults, currently in the classroom, waiting for somebody to walk into the front door, get in through meeting hall, whatever they may choose to do. If Neptunes has the play, he can just buck through that soft wall and destroy him, but clearly does not know where that player is at. He'll opt to toss a frag grenade in instead. Doesn't quite land the mark. They could make the call and try to find him with the flank from Faults, but I don't think he's willing to go for that run out. No, he's not. Merc's ready to go for something, though. Ghost goes down, and Neptune's not checking his corners. Faults comes out on top of that one. It's a 4-on-3, a C4. Faults coming up the stairs. Avian falls, too. It's all on Super. He'll get one in the bomb site, too, but the shotgun from Oasis, don't count him out. Organized Chaos take the match 7-2 versus the Susquehanna Soniqs. That is nuts.
I cannot believe that actually just happened. Organized Chaos just won 6 rounds in a row against one of the best teams in all of North American Challenger League. They honestly look to be the team to beat now compared to the Soniqs, as a lot of people, I'm pretty sure on Twitter and Reddit, were saying, oh, the Soniqs are a shoe-in for making, you know, a #1 seed. They're not, I mean, of course, you know, not any team is unstoppable.
Sure.
But after this performance coming out from Organized Chaos with Fultz dropping in